Let's move on to our next record. It comes from the Hold Steady. It's called Thrashing Through the Passion. It is the 7th album from the New Yorkers, a band that we recently featured on Trade Off when you gave me
Boys and Girls in America.
This is their 7th record, and it basically continues, I guess, the sort of long tradition of them writing brilliantly evocative, heartfelt, heartland Americana punk rock songs.
Don't disagree with that. With a great poet at the front of them. There is an important distinction with this album for fans, and that is that this is the first album where Franz Nicolai is back on keyboards. He wasn't on the last 2 records, if memory serves, and missing his lovely kind of jaunty, almost Springsteen-esque piano stuff. It's been tough for the Hold Steady, I feel, because those last couple of records, they were fine, they were good, but it did feel like something was missing.
Yeah. Okay.
From what I recall, you have heard, in my opinion, Hold Steady's best album, which is Boys and Girls in America. You also said you heard Heaven Is Whenever, which in my opinion is their worst album.
Okay.
So I feel like, in a way, you actually have quite a good place to review this, because I feel like you've heard their best and their worst.
And I think this kind of sits
in the middle,
exactly in between.
Yeah, I exactly agree with you.
I think there's some fucking excellent stuff on this. I love the horns on. I fucking know how you say that song, but
Epaulets.
Is that epaulets?
Epaulets, yeah.
Is that how you spell that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, fair enough. But there's some great like E Street Band
totally agree
horns on that, which is just like
so rousing,
glorious
that song, isn't it?
and rousing.
Yeah.
There's also a really odd sort of time signatured chorus, which actually you think, because most of this is just, this music is not meant to make you stroke your chin and go, I wonder what they've done. It's meant to make you dance, it's meant to make you feel, it's meant to make you sort of laugh and feel, like
it's rock and roll.
kind of a giddy joy, the joie de vivre of life. But the chorus to You Did Good Kid, which I love, is so kind of catchy, but it's vocal hook, if you like, is so oddly off kilter that I was like, oh, what a really clever, weird little trick. You did good, kid. You did good, kid. It's really, really good. And it will stick in your brain pretty much forever, I would say. And the other thing that I really, really like about it is the kind of the shout outs to the guy who looks like Kirk Hammett and the guy who used to play with Peter Tosh, but I don't believe him.
So on Denver's So on Denver's Haircut, which is the first song on the album, it features a couple of cool references to Metallica actually, and Agnostic Front.
Yes.
I don't know if you got the Agnostic Front one. And a clock on the bed stand with a cord to connect it. Liberty and justice into Master of Puppets. Rolling off of the mattress, waking up on the carpet. It shouldn't have to be perfect. I mean, Craig Finn is still a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant poet. I'm only going to read one more from Entitlement Crew, which is a brilliant song, track 6. But now here's a church, here's the steeple. I like the party favors, but I hate the party people. Got distracted by the chorus when the kids all sang along. Moved to the Rogue set. I always really liked that song. You like that song too. I know that you do. I saw you mouthing all the words when you didn't know I was watching you. Everything is brittle and is breaking apart. Your sister's in Seattle and she's sleeping with the Sharks. I remember you still playing his part. And there's so many references to that where you have to look up what the fuck he's talking about. She's sleeping with the Sharks is a reference to something that I didn't know about and stuff like that. But it sounds so poetic and, as Shakespeare said, rolls trippingly off the tongue.
Well, it does in his mouth.
It doesn't. Yeah, not mine, but it does in his.
It's quite good, mate. But he's got such a cool. I don't even know what this guy looks like, but I imagine him to look like Tom Waits. And
he doesn't, but okay, and I don't want to disappoint you.
No. But I imagine him to look like Tom Waits, and I imagine him just to be kind of chewing tobacco, and he just everything just rolls out of one side of his mouth. It's in the same way as we talk about the guys in the Menzingers or Brian Fallon. This is just feels like something that has been put together by a bunch of dudes in 20 minutes in a rehearsal room, and has just been kind of effortlessly just kind of tossed out into the world because it's like, hey, this is what we did last year.
Yeah.
Fucking like, it's really great, man.
Yeah.
This band are really great.
They're cool, aren't they? They're really good. And I love the fact that, I mean, I do totally agree with you that, you know, if I'm totally honest, in the Hold Steady's back catalogue, I do think this fits somewhere in the middle. But the fact that this record is the middle, you know, that's actually quite a good barometer.
It's good enough for Jimmy Eat World.
It probably should be said that some people are not going to enjoy Craig Finn's delivery because it's I think it's brilliant. I totally agree with you, and that rolled out of the mouth kind of thing. But some people just aren't going to get on board with it, and I understand that because it's half sung, half spoken.
It's very difficult to sing along.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of mumbling.
Yeah.
But the fact that he can mumble and make everything sound
so poetic
and so memorable.
Yeah. Well, I said on the Boys and Girls in America thing, he technically started in the poetry world and just kind of joined a band. And once you know that, it totally makes sense. But yeah, my housemate, hello Amy, she cannot stand the Hold Steady, and it's all because of Craig Finn's vocal delivery. And I get it,
find that
but
very strange.
She's a strange person. Yeah, it's he struggles with it.
I mean, last week we were talking about, again, to bring out Volbeat and Michael Poulsen, an affected voice, you know, like he's Danish and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you know, I like a lot of Volbeat stuff. I think, you know, I was pretty clear about that, even though I wasn't mad keen on that album. I got no problem with that, but it does feel like a character. It feels affected. Yeah. And I feel that, you know, Craig Finn is not that. He is the opposite of that. This does just feel like a dude who has woken up and kind of rolled over and rocked up with a kind of crumpled all the lyrics written on the back of a fag packet and has just kind of spat out the first thing that comes into his mind. And, you know, that's...
Which just happens to be the most poetic thing I've ever heard.
And that's kind of beautifully... I don't know. It's just sort of beautifully honest. And
I agree with everything you've just said. But I also understand that his vocal delivery won't be for everyone. I'm throwing it out there. Some people will not enjoy his vocal delivery, but I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, so, very, very good.
Very unique.
But again, I mean, if you are a fan of this band, well, you know, they're 7 albums in, so you probably know what you're going to get. Yeah. If you haven't heard them before, I think this is a pretty, like for me, if you'd have given me this and I'd never heard them before, I would have thought, what a great band. And then if you'd have given me Boys and Girls in America, then I think I would have lost my shit after that completely. So
maybe that is the way to do it then.
If you've never heard this band before, I would say this is not a bad place to start. On the 3 albums that I've heard, if I heard this, I had this on the other day when Emily was around, my girlfriend was around, and she likes Springsteen and all that stuff. She's American, but hadn't heard this one. Of course she's American. And
I meant, of course she likes Springsteen.
Yeah,
fine.
And she was like, they're great. And I was like, yeah, of course they are.
Very much in that tradition, aren't they? Springsteen and stuff.
Yeah.
The brass on Blackout Sam. It's very Springsteen-y and stuff like that. I love that song so much. There's a bonkers guitar solo on it as well.
Yeah, and, you know, wow, what's not to like?
Quite. Well, I agree with you. I agree with you. We can always get Amy on and ask her what the hell she's talking about.
You got big problems if you don't like this. Why do you hate? This is why we can't have nice things, etc., etc. I don't know what that means. Anyway, the Hold Steady. The record is out right now. This is new, isn't it? It's only just come out, I believe.
No, it's out next week, this one.
Okay, so this is out. If you're listening to this on Friday, this is out the week after because we're having to push some things because it's going to be busy next week. We'll get back to why.
Yeah. And there's shitloads happening next week.
Yeah.
So
Thrashing Through the Passion is the name of the record. It is very good. Right.